Today we're going to do a little video, and on this video we're going to take a look at downloading the latest version of Ride Command for an Indian motorcycle. I've looked on the site and I noticed that there are a couple ways that you can download updates. So you want to make sure that you do it right, depending on if you have a 2017 through 19 model or a 2020-21 model. So there is a difference between both of them, and as you may already know, there are some basic appearance differences, but there's some things behind the scenes that are different too. Of course, the newer models have a few extra features, so there's a few extra screens. So what I want to do is I want to go over that and show you possibly one mistake that I made. I'll mention that briefly, and then also after that I'd like to go and show you the comparison between the two and see what you think, and see if it's worth upgrading your motorcycle to a newer model, if that would be enough to make you do it, or if you like the new colors that are out now. So let's take a look. Here you see the web page when you go to it for the first time, if you have not signed up yet. Now I've signed up, so I currently have my vehicle in here. I haven't logged in yet, but you can see here that you have up at the top, you have your home, your maps, rides, places, community, that kind of thing. So on the home page here, if you go down, you can see you can get the update for Apple CarPlay. So it looks like you could download this. Doesn't say anything about the model year. So let's go in there. So I just clicked on that. All right. And now it shows you right here, we have update the software, update maps, and let's just deal with updating software right now. So let's click on the update software. So when you go to update software, now mind you, I have a 2017, and 2017 through 19 are pretty much the same basic software. 2020 is when they made the major change. So this is hopefully going to work for 2017 through 2019. If you go down here and you just go right down to download the July 2020 update, you think, okay, this is great. I'm going to get Apple CarPlay. So I'm going to click on that. So what it's doing is down here in the lower left corner, it's downloading the file. Now, as soon as this file is here, it is here, I'm going to right mouse button on it, and I'm going to show it in a folder just so that I can see it. Now what you see right now is you see the file that they've just downloaded is this one right here. Now before I do this, I want to go back up here. This is something you don't want to skip. It says right here, this software applies to model year 2020 and above. As you can see on this page here, for software updates, it says nothing about the 17 through 19s. So let's go back on the home page, and I'm going to log in. Okay, so we'll just log in here, email, and we'll just not show you this next part. Okay, I've now logged in, and when I log in on my home page, it looks a little different because I have already registered my bike. This is my bike. It's got my VIN number on it. Let me click on that. Now when I do that, it basically now gives me some different things here. Over on the left, you'll see maps and software update. Now look at what we can see here. We see 2020 Touring and Bagger, FTR 1200, 19 and earlier, and this is what I'm looking for. So I click on that one. Now I see here we have new updates. Download the December 2019 update. And we now have that file downloaded. And we're going to take a look at it. I'll right mouse button on it. Okay, so we'll show this in a folder. So up here we look at it and we see that it has the number of the file. And it ends with 1017. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look on my USB stick and see if it's a different number. Okay, I have my USB stick here, the one that I got with the bike. It's very small. Hopefully you can see that. There it is right there. And we'll load that in and take a look at it. Okay, I've inserted my USB from my motorcycle in here, and I can see where I also installed the new version of the file. And then down here you see the previous file, and there is a different number. This one ended with 1017. This one here is 0606, and they're both the same type of files, PV1 files. And this one was installed on 11/26/2018. I'm going to basically take the old one off from here. Again, I've got the new one, and I want to take the old one and get rid of it. I actually went and saved it on my desktop just in case I had to come back to it. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll take this and we'll load this onto the motorcycle, and I have an over 1 year old update. I talked with Indian, and Indian mentioned that every year they usually will release a new update, and they said that they were going to do one shortly for the 2017 through the 19 motorcycles. So that'll be done here soon, and we will probably be doing this again, and at that time I'll probably update the maps as well. Let's look at my bike now. This is 2017, and it's basically has the same software on the 18 and the 19. They basically have this particular look. The screen is black, and you'll see later that the 2020 and 21 is basically white. So let's take a look at the different screens here. I'm gonna push on this little button right here and change the screens. Now there are a total of 5 screens, and 2 of them are large and 3 of them are editable. I'm not sure if that's really a word, but I'm going to keep using it. So there's the 3 screens. Then I go back to a full screen, and there's another full screen, and then these are the split screens. Now let's talk about the split screens. So basically down here in the corner there's a little cog which you can select different, there's 8 of them, different things that you can put here. So if you wanted to, you could put your navigation over on that side, and then there's a little cog over here, and you could select maybe that over on this side. Now you can do that with 3 screens, which is kind of cool. So now if you want to go to the next screen, you'll see that there's 3 little things down here, and you can click on the next one or the next one, go back to the first one again, so you can go through all 3 of them like that. So that's something that is unique for 17 through 19. So that's my second screen, the way I like it. I happen to like this large speedometer here because I don't use this speedometer very much. I look at this. So I've kept that one on a couple screens. It was on this one. Let's put it back over here because I know I did have it here before. And yep, so that's good. This one here has the tires, and it has your voltage. So the one that I knocked down happened to have had, let's go in here. It's one I kind of like. It has the miles per hour. I think it's that one right there. Yep, miles per gallon. and it has your range and your fuel. So that's kind of cool. So I like that one. Now you don't have to accept or hit OK or anything. It's just done. So I'm going to click through these 3 screens. So basically you can see I have on the left, I have the same screen. It's just the way I like to have it. So that's the way these things are set up. Now if you pull this thing down, now you see here that you've got your connection for your phone and headset, helmet, which is kind of cool. Let me pull that back down again. And then there's that little cog up here, which goes to your general settings here. And in this one here, you get your units and language and all that kind of stuff. Let's try music. I want to see something. Okay, it's got an equalizer. All right, that's just the way I have it. And go back. So those are the kind of things that you have here. Now for updating, you would update your maps and your software here. That's the latest one. I have the absolute latest one available. And it's a little over a year old. So I'm waiting for the new one. So I'm going to update that again. And then I'm going to go in and update my maps. So just want to show you that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drive over to Spartans. And at Spartans, we're going to look at a 2021 and kind of show you the slight differences. Not a lot, but there are some. Well, I made it to Spartans, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little comparison between the 17 and the 19 Ride Command versus the 2021 and beyond Ride Command. Okay, so as you can see here, the screen is not black, it is white. So that's a major difference, and many of you probably already knew this. But one of the biggest things that they have here, they have still the 5 screens available, with 3 of them being editable. Excuse the noise in the background. This one here is your radio station, and that's your navigation. And on this particular one, it's navigation, and you have an editable side here. This one here you can actually change. So if you hit the gear over here, you get these options, which is kind of neat. Very similar to the 17 through 19. Now, if you notice, this one currently has a pretty big patch right here and a small one. So there's some that are big and some that are small. So if I wanted to, I could take this one. You just hit that little mark there and drag it over. Put that there. Evidently, that didn't work. So we take this one and move it back first. Now I'll take this one and bring it over here, which leaves the spot here where I could go and bring this one and put it here. And this one down on the bottom here is Apple CarPlay. So once you have your phone hooked up to it, that's kind of neat. So this model 20 and 21, they can have Apple CarPlay. So let's go to the next screen. Come on, let's go to the next screen. Now let's do it. Oh, I have to hit done. Don't forget that. You have to hit done. Now we can go to the next screen. So going to the next screen, you have this, which is fixed, always there. You can't edit this. You can only edit this. That's one of the major differences that I found between the 17 and 19 through the 2021 version. So the major difference is the left-hand side of these 3 editable screens is fixed all the time, whereas on the 17 through 19 you can change both sides. The one thing that is also kind of nice with this is that you can put more than one element over here. So let's look at this one and see what we can do. So on this one, let's see, maybe I want to have tire pressure over there. So I think I have to bring this one back and then create an empty spot and then bring this one and put tire pressure over there. Oops, come on, tire pressure. Maybe it needs more room, so let's take this one and move that one back. Now let's bring tire pressure over. For some reason that doesn't want to go over. All right, let's do this one. Okay, so you get your miles per gallon, which is kind of neat. I don't want this one anymore. but you can maybe bring home page over. That's kind of neat. That's a different one. So and I hit OK. Now I should be able to change screens. This one here is always here, current ride, and you can clear it, reset it, and again you can change this side over here. So we'll look at that, and let's say we want the radio on there. So let's bring this back, make some room. Oh, there's the tires. Okay, one thing that I noticed here, I was trying before to bring the tire pressure over to the right-hand side on the previous screen. Well, maybe you can't have it on multiple screens for some reason. All right, so because I do have it here, let's see if I can add it again. I think once it's grayed out, or like there, it's grayed out. So let's take that one and bring it back over here. And let's bring the radio over. So that's kind of how that works. That's the major differences I wanted to show. I don't know if that, oh, I have to hit done. Of course, there's changes here. This is not the same as on the 17 through 19 because of the different features. We don't have that, obviously. Okay, and this screen here, you've got, this is a little bit different. But there's something that I did notice, because this does have white screens. It's currently on auto. This is kind of nice. So, but if I wanted to say I want it this way, I can have the dark screens, which is kind of nice. So now it's always with the dark screens, kind of like a 17 through 19. So if you wanted to have it that way, you could certainly do it that way. I'll turn it back to auto. Everything else is pretty much the same. When you go into this one here, it's got a fader, it's got an equalizer, minor changes there. Into vehicle, there's some, you have cylinder deactivation here. Of course, that's not on the 17 through 19. Might be on the 19. Not sure about that one. Everything else seems to be very similar. Oh, here's the difference. On the 20 and 21, they don't have the three little dots down here for these screens that you can edit. So you can swipe them. That's 1, 2, and 3. These are the 3. To get to the other main ones, you've got navigation here button, and you've got audio there. Very similar to the 17 through 19. The buttons are positioned a little different, but you also have your button that's right over here, and when you push that, you can step through the windows, and you get all 5 windows when you do this. So I just want to show you the differences. It's minor, and see what you think. See if you want to step up to a newer model just for this reason. The rest of the bike is similar except for the one main thing. And let's take a look at that. It's that right there. That comes standard on this model. And my model does not have that standard. So that's the biggest change. So I just wanted to see what you guys thought, and make a comment down below and tell me if you like the other system, if you're going to stick with your 17 through 19.